What's going on, everyone? Juicebags here, and welcome back to the channel. The Harvest Festival is returning to Dungeon Defenders 2. Chromatic was kind enough to give me access to the patch notes that I am going to go over right now with you, and I will put them in text form down in the description below, assuming I can fit all that in. If not, I will post them up in my Discord server, and I'll give you all a link to that. Now, first things first, before we get into it, we don't have a confirmed date yet, but rumor has it, it is going to be real soon. But we don't know exactly when this event is going to start. In addition to that, these patch notes I'm about to go over with you are 100% work in progress. Anything and everything in the entirety of this information could be changed prior to the update actually going live. But let's jump right on in and get right to it. Farmer Tom has returned to Dragonfall, bringing back his fresh goods at unbeatable prices. But he's still facing a dilemma. His trusty Scarecrow has gone missing. Yes, again. Lend him a hand and help reunite them during the Harvest Moon Festival. He can be found in the Tavern and Town Hub, meaning Farmer Tom, offering harvest bags once per day for 100 gold. Each bag contains a random festival treat with unique effects ranging from boost to health and speed to explosive fruits, popcorn blast, radish rockets, shockwaves, and even protective grain auras. Scarecrow pets are back. These variants return during the event itself. The Scarecrow Ghost is a rare drop from end-of-game reward chests. So anywhere throughout the game, when you're playing, there's going to be a super rare chance of getting that Scarecrow Ghost pet to drop in your victory chest. The Scarecrow itself is available in the Emporium. This is a regular premium pet. You can get it in the Emporium for 400 gems. The Golden Scarecrow is available from the Black Market Dealer for 250 million gold. All variants share the same ability, Call of the Scarecrow, which summons a cursed Scarecrow that confuses enemies for 10 seconds and makes them take 25% increased damage. Now, the elephant in the room, we all knew it was coming, y'all, but there is some balance changes here, and let's just start right off with the big enchilada. The Plasma Defense System got its Nerf bat swung, reduced max range from 6250 range units down to 4500. So we got a large decrease in range on the PDS, reduced the range scaler slightly from 0.825 to 0.8, increased the max attack rate from 0.5 to 0.7. So now instead of every 0.5 seconds, it's going to attack every 0.7 seconds. So a slightly smaller attack rate there. And the DU cost is going up. The DU cost is going from 40 DU to 60 DU of the Plasma Defense System. So I'm excited to check these out. I'm a big fan of the PDS from DDA and in DD2. I did enjoy them quite a bit. I think anybody who has played them recognizes the fact that they were instantly the strongest thing in the game. So with that in mind, I understand, but I do really like the tower thematically, and I hope it's still good and functional. We, of course, will get that tested as soon as this update lands. The Drone Defense System fixed an upgrade scaler to match all other 20 DU defenses, meaning when you upgrade this defense, it's going to get 100% of its base power value added to it for each tier. So, yeah, Drone Defense System just got a heck of a lot better. Increased damage of drone overdrive rockets from 50% to 125%. This was my biggest complaint with it, as it wasn't worth using the active ability on the Cyborg, because the damage went from, it just dropped considerably. So this is getting changed, and it's now going to be 125% damage. And the drone overdrive rockets now scale with upgrades, so you are going to get that value as you upgrade up that defense. The physical wall is now tagged as a blockade, so we're going to be able to use things like, boosted blockades. We're going to be able to put anything that would normally only apply to a blockade onto that physical wall. In addition to that, the health was increased by 10%. The biometric scanner, the decreased enhanced scan, this is the shards, its damage vulnerability from 33% gilded down to 25% gilded. That's fair. That's not really that much, so I'm very good with this one. Now let's look at some things we didn't expect. The Harpy's Perch. Base number of pierces from 0 to 2. So now the Harpy's Perch is going to pierce, and you don't have to be in corrupt form on the Dryad to make that happen. The damage scale from hit from 40% to 10%. So we're going to be getting some free pierces out of the Harpy just by using that tower. The Volcano got an extra projectile. Currently, the Volcano's projectile volley is 3 projectiles. That is going to 4. Dragon's Nest got a range buff. Its range didn't get reversed all the way back up to what it used to be, but it went from being a max range of 3,500 to a max range of 4,000. In addition to that, the range scaler was changed from 0.55 to 0.7. The Oil Catapult is getting a buff, and that is its DU cost is being reduced from 40 to 30, and then its upgrade scaler is being changed to match 30 DU defenses as well. So not only will it be lower cost to get that Oil Catapult in, but it's going to do more damage if you upgrade it. The Firework Cannons. Projectiles should not collide with the world anymore. So we got kind of that anti-clipping effect now with the Firework Cannon, where if it does have line of sight, the projectiles are not going to hit something like a wall or whatever and explode prior to arriving at their target. The Skeletal Archer got a straight 10% buff across the board. So all it says in these notes here is 10% buff, so I'm assuming that was a 10% damage buff. The Flamethrower damage rate was changed from 0.25 to 0.33. No, not a massive change there. The Storm set, things are kind of all thrown in together. There are more tower things coming, though. The Storm set is getting a buff. The Lightning Bolt damage is scaling from 500 up to 750. And then the interval that it goes off is being changed from every 10 seconds to every 8 seconds. And the damage is going from 750 to 800. So a little bit of buff to the Storm set. We'll have to play around with it and see what we want to do with that. The Earth set, the increased health by 100 is just added directly in there. Now back over to some towers. The Artillery Crab. I don't think anyone expected this one. Straight 15% damage buff coming for the Artillery Crab. In addition to that, the AoE radius is changing from 450 to 500. That is such a minuscule difference. 450 range units to 500 range units is so little, but it could be enough to make it a little bit more effective in those packs that are close together, but not bunched tightly enough where previously the explosion would hit them all. This is the one I'm kind of curious about, the Jellyfish. Increased max shots per target from 3 to 4, so you can now have 4 of your Jellyfish blasts hitting the same target, and the max range was changed from 5,000 to 6,500. The Jellyfish is gonna scream, y'all. I mean, it screamed before. It is gonna scream even harder now. Water Sprites. Damage was increased by a straight 11%. The Sonic Bat, the damage scale per hit was reduced by 50%. And here's some interesting mod changes, and that is, so your raw defense power mod is being changed to a percentage from a flat number, which means this is going to instantly put it into the conversation again, where is it a potentially usable mod? However, we'll have to see exactly what that percentage is when it rolls out. The same thing is going to be applied to defense health as well for the servos. Now we get into another something that wasn't super expected, and that was some incursion weapons are getting a buff. The Celebration Canisters mod, now these are, I'm assuming, All of these buffs are in reference to the mod itself and not like the base function of the weapon. However, the Celebration Canisters mod is getting a 25% buff. Now, Celebration is traditionally used because of the power of the charged shot. So like on the EV, for example, you can use the charged shot shard, and the charged shot has very good scaling with the Celebration Canister. The Shadow Flame Knife, right now it's 46% hero damage at a max roll. That's going all the way up to 190% hero damage. So with the Shadow Flame, traditionally now you would go with like a hero health build and then use the glove shard. Maybe this is going to give some potential to get some hero damage going on the Shadow Flame Knife build on the Mystic. The Mega Shark Gun, the damage is increased from 0.42 to 1.75. The Bone Glove is getting increased damage from 60 to 300. The Lunar Portal Staff, the number of beams is going from 1 to 10. That's kind of awesome. And the damage is being increased from 225 to 3000. And then removed the scaling number of portals set to 10. The North Pole now takes into account hero boost and all other stat increases, which means this could instantly be the best monk weapon. It does have that kind of lob shot that goes with it, so it would take some getting used to, but this could potentially bring the monk back into the picture as far as an actual hero damage monk and not just a support character. The Demon Scythe Tome increased normal damage from 600 to 4000, increased charge damage from 1500 to 10,000. The Ghastly Halberd is switched from ability power to hero damage, and it was changed from 257.5 to 500%. You can always spawn 3. It changed from 0.22 to 0.15 shots per second, and went from a 0.7 to a 1.1 damage scaler. This could be a hot item as well. Definitely interested in checking these out. The Last Word Axe, the hero damage was changed from 9,990 to a hero damage percent and increased 25%. Meowmere was changed from 145% ability power to 2,000%. The Glaive of the Storm's polearm got a 500% buff to both lightning and rain damage, so if you want to play that ability power monk and glide around over top of enemies, this could be super, super cool, no doubt. The Terra Blade got changed from 87% to 200% damage. Bling-a-Midas got its damage increased from 85% to 250% and got a 10% damage buff as well. The Scorched Tome of Molten Brimstone, the normal damage was changed from 530 to 4,000. The charge damage was changed from 1,350 to 10,000. Some big changes, and going to be well worth checking out all of these incursion weapons to see how they perform after this update. There was some quality of life improvements here, quite a few of them in fact. They added an audio hot swapping for Windows PC, so there's no need to relaunch the game anymore. Unified Ascension. This is going to be exceptionally great for brand new players in the game and a reason for you to create different heroes. And that is no more 3 categories. So you can put your points wherever you want in each individual tier. You know, it's not going to be you get 1 point here, 1 point there, 1 point there. You're going to get a point, put it wherever you want it. Consumables will now have an open all for stacks, so shards, pet boxes, and survival boxes. There's going to be an open all option to pop all of these open at once. We'll have a confirmation pop-up. Inventory vault and shops. There's going to be sell all, has had the cooldown removed. The confirmation is instant, but a prompt will still appear. Vault sorting added a button to toggle name and quality. The hotkey is F on the keyboard, Y on the controller for the shard vault sort mode. There's some changes to the way mod quality is going to be shown, where currently, like on PC, we hold down shift and we can see the number pop up of what the mod is. The mod levels are now going to have colorized text depending on what their mod level is. So you'll be able to just look through and look at the color. Dynamic item borders are going to be added for secondary stat rolls. Now, I'm not sure how this is going to affect colorblind players, if they're going to be able to use this feature at all. Not really sure about that one. However, it will have dynamic item borders now, so you'll be able to look for a specific color for your stat roll. You won't have to go individually and look at every item anymore to see what the secondary stat roll is. It will be in brackets, and you can look for specific colors to try to find those better rolled items. Show mod quality now works in player shops. You can see mod levels and the borders instantly. And then Aetherius Forge shows rolls remaining to reach 10 out of 10. No more counting up to 286. When it gets capped, the text will turn green and say guaranteed next roll is 10 out of 10. So you're going to get a warning in advance, which is also awesome if you haven't been tracking where you're at on your rerolls. Because if you change your mind, what if you decide you want to roll, this weapon mod instead of this relic mod? You can always do that, and your guaranteed next roll is going to be 10 out of 10. When you're re-rolling mods and primary stats now, it's going to auto-accept higher rolls, auto-reject lower rolls, and then pop-ups are removed during that process. At 10 out of 10, the reroll button is grayed out, and a dialogue explains you're at the max roll. The reroll UI now shows the result and whether it was kept or discarded. Some changes to the UI and UX. Combat messages, when they pop up, will be colorized as well. A tower destroyed text is going to be red, tower placed is going to be green, and a tower sold is going to be yellow. The map's simple view is going to be forced open to show new enemy descriptions. Hero Picker, here's another big one. If you use the actual Hero Picker mode instead of scrolling through all of the items, you're now going to be able to sort them. Now, this will affect your scrolling as well, since it goes in order. But you're going to be able to sort your heroes, y'all, without deleting them and making new ones. You're going to be able to move them around wherever you want. There's some social functions added in on PC. You'll be able to add friend and view Steam profile directly from in-game. Added an indicator so players know they can scroll up and down in the chat window. Various controller and different platform fixes were added in. The Steam Deck got its trigger behavior fixed. There were some other controller fixes. Pet reroll materials now pulled from the vault on controllers and consoles. And fixed focus randomly jumping when you sell items. There was some bug fixes as well. Fixed pet reroll materials not being pulled from the vault on controller and console. We just hit that one. Fixed an issue on the controller where the focus would bounce back when selling. Same thing there. Fixed an issue where the plasma defense system would not attack again after being frozen and stunned. So you'll be able to use your PDS in Drakenfrost Keep again if you want to. Fixed retry from waves, sometimes resulting in an unplayable game or lobby. Incursion Chaos 8 Prime, I know this has been a real pain point for some newer players trying to get hyper shards, is now fixed. So it's going to show all the maps instead of just showing 1, 5, and 7. So you're going to be able to get those other prime zones completed and get your hyper shards. Aerial Mastery is now usable on the Cyborg. Tidal Flow no longer activates when upgrading, selling, repairing, or building towers. Fixed swapping something from gear counting as swapping hero for swap chips. Fixed Dryad turning into corrupt counting as swapping hero for swap chips as well. And now here is something just crazy exciting. Doubled the drop rate of ancient armor on all elemental rumble difficulties. So the drop rates are going up, y'all. They're getting doubled in elemental rumble. Now, hopefully this is enough to make elemental rumble a little less discouraging. We'll see how it goes. Double's a nice start anyway. I'm excited to hopefully get some drops here and maybe check out that storm set that got some major reworks. The Enchantress NPC is going to be unavailable temporarily in the town and private tavern while she takes a short break. She'll be back before you know it. And there you go, y'all. That is the full enchilada of patch notes. So a little bit of a lengthy video here today, but I wanted to go through all of these patch notes and get them out there. As soon as we know a date, we will post it up. This update is coming. We just don't know when yet, but it's going to be here pretty darn soon. So thanks a ton for watching, y'all. Have a wonderful rest of your day, and I will see you soon. Take it easy.